Oh hi, Tam here with Elegant Upgrades, and we've got a haul and some of the finished things that we just, well, that I finished in this video, but you won't see till after the haul, but then you can see the finished, you know. We'll just get to it. Okay, so quickly, if you remember the haul from last week, we had these guys. And I loved them before, but now I just, man, they're so pretty. So they're the pressed tin with the fleur-de-lis imprint. This thing comes up, I have no idea why, it's unnecessary. But it drops back down, the spikes are pressed down, and they both hang on the walls. This comes in a set of 2. And then this tray, which again, turned out lovely. I'm very pleased with this. Metal candlestick holder. This would do like the pillar candles. This one still has the spike up, which again I think is annoying, but it's fine. So I did the tray and that essentially the same color families. And then the pressed tin here along with the 2 wall pieces, also the same. This one I went a little bit grungier, and that's just how I did the wax and how I wiped back the thing. So you can see even with different, or with same colors and processes, you can get a different finish depending on how you work everything. And this one is less grungy, but still exact same colors and everything. This is that cute little shelf. Anyways, I love the way that they turned out. I think they're gorgeous. Okay, so for the haul, obviously I'm picking stuff up for Valentine's Day. So I got this cute little heart bottle because it's the amber glass, which I really like. My last amber glass bottle already sold. It's kind of a big deal right now. So this was $2.99 and it will go for $12. This one does not have a stopper, but you could just put a cork in there or something. If that's what you wanted to do, but it looks like a little, yeah, it's cute. I like it. It's been really good in the background for my pictures. This is unnecessary and it's out of season. I just thought it was super cute, this little acorn. It was $2.99, which I think is too high for this, especially since I'm only selling it for 10. Or maybe I put it on for 8. I don't know, but I just think it's super cute, so I got it just based off of my own likes because it's shiny. This guy I'm on the fence about. Not that I got him because I love him. He's cute. It's a little cherub shelf sitter. Like, am I gonna paint this? I don't know. Right now I just have it on the website as is, and then if he doesn't sell, I'll probably paint him because I think he'd be really cute painted up. This was $2.99. He'll go for $18. And then we'll see if I end up needing to paint him or not. But man, he's just, look at it. So cute, and he's blowing a kiss. Oh, I love him. This is my most favorite find ever. I adore it. It's a lot like that teapot that I got, was it not last week, but maybe the week before. It's quadruple plated. It has like the etching. This one's floral etching all the way around. It's so detailed. It's amazing. It is a butter dish, and it is a huge butter dish. And I really just want this. I saw very similar things going in between, I want to say $40 to $70. I think I have this listed for $48. If it doesn't sell, I'm not going to be sad. I don't know. I might end up raising it just so that nobody buys it because I want it. So I mean, I can't use it right now. We haven't moved yet, and it's silly just to have it sitting and not being loved. But look, it has like, this is where you can set the butter spreader, your knife or whatever, so it doesn't get messy, but you always have one, and it holds so much butter. And if you guys are anything like my family, you go through some butter. But I think it is the most beautiful thing ever, and I love it. I want it. I just think it's so, like, they put that there. Why don't they still do that? You know what, we have a knife like setting on the edge of our butter dish and it's annoying. Anyways, let's get back to it. All right, this is just like a little 3-candle candelabra. Super cute, vintage, clear glass. It has fun little details in here. This was $2.99, it will go for $20. I like these because they match everything for any time of the year because they're the clear glass. They just kind of work. Can't remember if I showed you guys this or not. This came on this at a thrift store, which doesn't match. It doesn't even fit. So this is nothing. It's like a little candle. I don't care about it. But I got it for this. It was $3 for those two things. And then I found this is a W.M. Rogers. This is a silver plated little dish, super cute. I go through these rather quickly. This was $1.99, it'll go for $15. Right now I just have it solo on the website by itself. But I was like, oh, that's kind of cute too. This needs to be cleaned though. It's kind of dingy, but it could be cute. Or just this by itself and I can still find something for this. I'm not sure yet. All my little clocks are gone. These guys go pretty well. This is a crystal little shelf clock. The crystal part was made in France. This, when I took out the clock, it's taped in now because it likes to come out because it's just smooth glass on the inside. It has the prongs, but it still likes to pop out occasionally. So again, the crystal is made in France. The clock said Germany, so it's a mix of both. When I look these up, this will go for about 20 or so. And then it was $4.50 when I bought it. This was picked up strictly because it's very springy and full of florals everywhere. I don't get these a lot. It's just like a little trinket box, jewelry box, whatever you want to use it for. Let me see if I can't get some of the, yeah, there's some of the details. So they're all over the place. They're all over this. I don't know if I want to paint this or not. I feel like putting gilding on all of the flowers that are around this thing would just be so much fun. And I could even do it in like springier colors. I don't know, or even like the taupey blue mix that I did on these ones, I think would be lovely. I don't know, I just thought it was super cute. It was only $1.49. I'll probably go for just 10, which isn't a huge thing. Like I said, I just picked it strictly because I liked it and it's springy and making me feel all the spring things. Okay, here's another favorite find, and I have absolutely no use for it, but I love it. Guys, look. Oh my goodness. It's a warming pan, bed warmer, whatever you want to call it. This was $15. I'm listing it for $50. It's quite large. It is brass with the swivel lid there. It has so many fun, like, it's just pretty. They have details everywhere. I love it so much. There is a little crack right there that you can see. But aside from that, it's lovely. There's also obviously scratches in the wood. I'm doing nothing to this because I like it exactly aged as it is. I think it's wonderful. The only thing that, like, everything looks original with the exception of they put like a screw and a little bolt here. That is not original, but everything else is. A little screw in the back, all the rivets and everything. So it's just, I mean, this is cool. I would just put this in my house. Obviously not for use, but just because I love it. And I did find cool stuff. Nope, there's more cool things. This is like a crazy decanter. It has like grapes, I guess, but this isn't like doesn't look like a wine decanter. It looks like either, like, I want to put olive oil in it because it has like the perfect spigot for olive oil. Also, I don't drink a ton of booze, So filling this with anything else just seems unnecessary, but it's so cool. It has like weird, they like drizzled gold on the glass for some reason, I don't know. But I love the metal. There's like little copper rivets in it. Super cute. Handle, it's sturdy. Apparently it's a music box. When I was doing research on it, I couldn't find this exact one, but I found other smaller versions of this. This one was $4.99. I'm gonna sell it for $32. I also don't know how to make the music box part work because I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Like if this is supposed to go in, or maybe when you set it down. I don't know. So the music part might not work, but I don't really care about that part. If that wasn't on there, I would still absolutely love this because I think it's just magnificent. Yeah, cool stuff. There's just really cool stuff. These little guys are out of season. They're the clear glass coasters. They have a wreath on the inside, so these will probably sit in the shop for a while, which isn't a big deal. They're small and they don't take up any space, but they're in good condition and I thought they were super cute. So these were $2.99. I believe I have them listed for like 10 or 12, something like that. Again, they'll probably sit because it's not Christmas time. This was just darling, so I picked it up. I can't tell, I think it might be silver plated. I didn't put that on the website because it's not marked and I don't like putting it on there if I'm not sure. It looks like it is, again, unless it's marked. I don't like doing it unless I can fully like look at it and tell, but this one is still so shiny, it makes me a little uncomfortable just saying that. So I just have like metal basket. It's just cute. It's on a pedestal. It has the cutout details. The handle comes down or back up and it's just lovely. There's little flowers around the edges. That is so cute. Again, it's like all season decor. You can decorate with that all the time. This was the only thing I was for sure painting because that's hideous. But I think it's a cool thing. Like it's a wall pocket, you can do florals. That's what was originally in here because it had like the foam debris inside. So this will get painted up and something a little less like satin gold. That's kind of what that, it's like a weird satin gold. I don't know, but I think I can do something fun with this. And obviously this is like, do you remember the really old phone cords? That's what this is. It's terrible. So this will come off and it will just be the regular hooks. And this is a big one, I forgot. I don't know why I picked this up. I was like, should I paint it blue? But when I searched for this, just because people want these, and the red is, I guess, a big deal color too. So it has a detachable lid with the, I was like, what do you put a wine bottle in here? But then what's the point? Because it's not saving it, it's metal. I don't know, but I loved it. I thought it was cute. A little old-fashioned telephone booth. I got it for $2.99. I'm gonna sell it for $20. If it doesn't sell, I'm probably gonna paint it blue for obvious reasons. Oh my. All right, this is like the cutest thing ever. It is like a mini cake plate, has the domed lid that goes on here. It's Pyrex, it's vintage, $4.99. I wanna say I have it going for, maybe I thought it was smaller when I did it. I think I have it on the website for 20. I might go to 20, 24, 26, because this is bigger than what I remember when I was photographing it. But yeah, it will hold like a mini cake. I don't know, it's kind of an awkward size, but I just thought it was so cute. It's in good condition. I wanna say there's like a tiny little something here on the bottom, but it's smooth. But that's the only thing I could find wrong with it. And I love it. Yeah, I couldn't find this exact thing when I was looking up Pyrex things. So, I don't know, I just liked it. Let's do this guys first. Okay, so I've got Vintage Nativity, again, out of season. So this was $2.99 and the other two were each $3.99. We've got the little baby Jesus, Mary and Joseph. They have the felt bottoms. It's kind of weird. They're like, I think terracotta with the gold over the top. I'm gonna leave them as they are right now. If they happen to sell before Christmas next year, fine. If they don't, then they'll probably get a paint job just because they're so, you know, they're old. But I mean, sometimes old is cool. And then I strictly picked up this one. You guys, I don't know, they just had a bunch of stuff out and it was all inexpensive, I think, because it's post-Christmas, so they're trying to get rid of stuff. This one was actually $6.99, which is high, but it has the bubble finish that I love, like the opaly pearlescent. And I cannot pass up this color because you guys know I try and replicate this with my paint finishes. And so whenever I see it in real life, I'm like, I need it so much. So this will go for $34. Similar things we're selling for about that, usually a little bit higher. Yeah, this has like the crackling throughout it because it is old. This was done in the 70s. So this is still a vintage piece, but man, it just looks so pretty. And again, it's essentially white. Obviously there's like the colors that you can see in there, but I feel like this would go with a ton of different decor things. Again, it's a cute little apple, and I feel like apples are okay because it's going to be warmer weather and it just fruit and everything reminds, but it's got the bubble finish again, and I just want everything to have this on it. I think it is so pretty. It's just clean and neat, but also fancy at the same time. I don't know, I'm just in love with it. Anyways, this was $3.99. Too much, but I strictly picked it up because of the finish and I love it. So we'll obviously get nothing done to it because it's perfect as it is. This is only $10. This I picked up just for Easter. I didn't look it up in the store. I should have. They don't go for too much. I grabbed it for $4.99, which is again too much because it's only going to sell for $12. But I just think it's cute. It's like the perfect blue, has the hand painted flowers on it, little egg base for Easter. It's so cute. 3 legs. I don't know. Picked it up just because I liked it myself. Trivet. This is just, it's a metal trivet. It has like some kind of like coppery tones to the top of it. This was $4.99. I want to say I have it on for $12. I don't know why I picked this up for $4.99. I feel like that's rather high, especially since this is only going for $12. I mean, it's really sturdy. It's not as heavy as like full cast iron. It looks and feels like cast iron, but when you feel the heft of it, it doesn't feel quite as heavy as cast iron. That's why I only have it on for $10. This is a set of 4 Moscow Mule mugs. They're the vintage ones. They have the brass handles. They're the hammered copper. They're in good condition with the exception, you know, they're tarnished obviously, but I like that. So these I picked up for $2.99 for all 4 of them, and they'll go for $28, which was similarly priced all over my research. And I think we're good. This last little thing I'll just show you because it's cute. My aunt, the one who I did the little table for her daughter, with the horses and everything, they're horse people. They have tons of horses and other creatures at their house. She has like a very Western home, so she has like horseshoes and stuff all over. Anyways, I found this clock and I thought it was so cute, so I had to take a picture and message her. I was like, do you need this? So I picked this up for her because it just reminded me of her. And it is actually cast iron and awesome. Anyways, that is it. Now we can go on to making some of the things pretty that you already saw. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next week. Oh, if you would like any of this stuff, it's of course on the website as per usual, elegant-upgrades.com. And yeah, I'll see you guys soonish.
All right, to start off these flips, I'm actually going to be custom mixing another taupe color. This isn't the same one as I did last week, but there's just tons of variations on taupe. So initially I'm starting off with that beigey color. I'm adding in like a mid-tone gray, and then I'll add in a bit of purple. I have a darker brown to deepen it up if I need to, and you just kind of go back and forth until you get a color that you like. And that's essentially how I mix up. Like I said before, I just mix up enough to have extra left over after I'm finished. That way, if something happens, I can fix any issues that I may have. But this is pretty easy. You just mix it to your liking. Next up, I'm going to be taking all my items that need to be taupe, and they're just going to get 2 coats of the taupe paint, and that's it. I thought I had filmed this, and apparently I had 1 second's worth of that. So it's boring anyways. It's just 2 solid colors of the taupe paint on both of the wall hangings and on the little candle holders that hang on the wall, the little sconces, and then the little shelf. So super easy, mixed up the paint and then did 2 coats of that on all the items that I wanted taupe. And then I had the 2 other items that are actually a little bit more fun because we're going to do just a little blend on those. All right, so for round 1 on these, I'm actually going to be starting with the light pink. This is Petal Pink. All the paint I use is Chalk Mountain. They're just my favorite. They're the ones that I use, and I haven't seen a reason to change yet. So I just get asked quite a bit about the paint that I use. If you guys have a paint that you prefer, that's great. I think that there's tons of amazing paints out there, and when you find one you like, it's great to stick with it. Anyways, this is Petal Pink, and it's going to get blended with Woodland Harbor, which is a very rich brown color, but the brown has like a purpley undertone, and I love it for blending. I can't say that I would ever use this color as just a solid color to have on something, but I use it so much. I've ordered it so many times for blending in because it is just gorgeous, especially when you mix it with other colors. So anyways, like I said, I start with the pink, get it laid down. I'm not worried about blending yet. I'll get the Woodland Harbor on there, get that on there. You can see me doing swirls. That's because that's in the pressed tin, and that helps get the paint down and all the little crevices and everything. And then once I get those kind of meeting together, then I can go back with a brush. And the brush I'm actually going to use here is the taupe brush that I used to paint the other pieces, the solid color taupe, because that is a good mid-tone in between these 2 colors. I actually use that to blend these 2 colors together, which kind of changed the overall tone of the piece, but it just turned out so well. So you can use a blank brush if you want. You can use one of the light pink brush, or you could use the Woodland Harbor brush to blend. There's billions of different ways to blend. You just do what you want with the piece that you have. I change it up all the time depending on what I'm doing, the kind of piece I'm doing, the look I'm going for. You just blend how you like. This is also the first coat, so it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not because we're going to fix everything on the second coat. This is just kind of giving me an idea. So I'm not being terribly gentle with this. I'm just scrubbing that brush back and forth. You can see it has a little bit of that taupey gray color in there. That's fine. That's what I want because I want all these pieces to kind of marry together. They won't go together necessarily, but they could. Now the second round on this is just a little candlestick holder. So I'm doing the exact same thing, only here I'm starting with the Woodland Harbor. It doesn't matter which way you want to start. You can start with the pink, you can start with the brown, however you want to go, or 2 different colors entirely if that's the route you're taking. This I'm just pressing it into the base because that base is super ornate and I want to make sure I get everything covered. Since this is the first coat, I'm not terribly worried about it, but this is splattering down onto my tray right there. I can see that. Again, it's the first coat, so I'm not worried about that, but you know, don't paint directly over something that you know is going to get paint splatter on it. Anyways, I'm just doing the base. It'll be the exact same thing where I go the first color and then I will lay the second color down. I'll meet them in the middle and then I'll start blending them out with the same brush. Now on the second coat of the tray, I'm actually going to do a really good job cleaning up the edge on this. I want to make sure I get it curled all the way under. So I'm leaving the bottom black because it's fine. It looks good under there. It's a really clean paint under. However, the lip curls around the edge, and I want to make sure I get that fully covered so that it just looks clean and neat when it gets lifted up and moved around. So that's all I'm doing here. And then I will be working in reverse on this one. So for this second coat, I will start with the brown and then I will go to the pink. But it's essentially the same process, only you're going to have a little bit of a lighter hand just because you can reactivate the paint and pull some of it back, especially on this tray because it's such a shiny paint surface. So I didn't have any issues, thankfully, but if you do get a little scrub happy with your paintbrush, you can pull up some old paint. Now, as I was going along on this one, I couldn't quite get everything as smooth as I wanted to, so I dropped off this brush and grabbed a new clean one and finished out the blend with a clean brush that didn't have any paint on it. Then of course back to the candlestick holder, same thing. I'm starting with pink this time. I'll work that all the way down and then go into the brown and then fade that up. So this is really easy, especially on the second coat. It's always easier to blend over the second coat. Just know that your first one's not going to be great, but your second one could be awesome. I think the hardest part about these ones is making sure that you get every single angle, because there's so many different areas where you miss because there's like little crevices and things that you don't see, and it's kind of a pain. So you just have to kind of be meticulous when you're going through and making sure you're turning it upside down, right side up, left, right, just all the angles. So now you finally get to see this taupe color. This is 2 coats of it on there. You could kind of see the items in the background there. But then I'm taking this is steel. It is a blue with like it kind of has like a gray background to it, but it's mostly blue. Like a muted, it's lovely. So I'm gonna do a wash, and this is my lazy wash where I just put a little bit of paint on the paintbrush, and then I scrape it off in the lid, and then I squirt a bunch of water into the lid. And then I just brush it over the piece. So I'll just keep adding more and more as I change out the pieces for doing this, but I'm going to do this to all of the other pieces that I did taupe. So this is going to soften things. It's going to make things look a little bit more spring, a little bit more French, just all the things that I like and that are coming up, and it's just going to be perfect. So getting this in here, this is perfect for these pressed tin because there's so many different areas for this wash to sit down in that it's just kind of the best technique, I think, on these. So all of this is going to sit down in there, and then we're going to pop the raised parts as well. So getting that on, you want to make sure that your paint has dried. It's best if you can let it sit overnight before you do a wash. Sometimes I don't, and that's fine too, especially if you want to be able to do some wet distressing and take off some of the base layer of paint. But if you want your base layer to stay on, the drier you can let your base coats get, the better time you're going to have wiping off the wash without taking any of that paint off. So that's just something to think about. Then we're just going to do the exact same thing to both the square wall panels. So this is the filigreed one. Again, same technique. I am working in smaller sections on these, so like you'll see me do this lip here and then I'll wipe that back so that I don't have wet sitting on the paint. Again, this is just to save myself the hassle of wiping it back and wiping off the paint because it's been reactivated. So I'm working in smaller sections here. and wiping that off, and then I'll continue on doing the larger section, and then I can wipe that back and then do each edge. And I did that to this piece as well as to the quilted looking one. Same wash on the shelf. This one looks a little bit different and a little bit more blue because these recesses are much deeper because it's not the pressed tin. It's like a plaster. And so there's really big pockets of this. So it holds a lot more of the blue there. And you just want to make sure when you're working on something like this that you won't find any drips later on down the road. So a lot of times it looks like things are fine and then you'll come back later and you'll be like, oh, there was a huge drip on that. So just make sure when you're setting it to dry, you don't have any drips happening, and know that it's going to be just a more pronounced wash because there's so many different crevices and deeper spots on this that things can get kind of stuck in, which is great. It looks awesome, but just something to think about. Now to do all the details, because I want this to look a bit more rustic, I'm going to be using gilding wax instead of my typical metallic paint that I use. So I'm applying it with my finger, and it's going to be not a smooth application. So there'll be skipping in parts, and some parts are heavier and some parts are lighter. That's kind of the look I want to go for on these because it's pressed metal. Like there's a lot of imperfections in it. There's rivets in it. Like it just is a cool looking thing, and I don't want it to be perfect and precise, where if I take a tiny brush and go over it and make sure it's all exactly right, that's too perfect for the look that I'm going for. So that's why I'm using gilding wax and a finger on this, because it's just going to give it that more imperfect aged look. Honestly, now that I'm rewatching this, I wish I would have done a bit more wet distressing on this, but it's fine. So this took a while, and your fingers do get tired when you have so much to go around and do, but it looks lovely. And I'll do that to this one as well as to the little shell shelf, and then I'll do a slightly different technique on the quilted one because I want that one to look just a bit more aged. So same gold on these little wall sconces. These ones are a bit more of a pain just because the lines are a lot smaller, the areas. So you can either be more sloppy and just kind of run your fingers over the whole thing and know that it's going to be a bit messy, or take a little bit more time and try and just hit all those high points. You can also, if you're getting any of this gilding wax in places that you don't want it to be in, you can take your clear wax, which is what I seal everything in when I do smalls, just because then I don't have to wait for sealer to dry. But you can take a bit of your clear wax and use it to remove any of the gilding wax that got places that you didn't want it to. Now I ended up gilding this with the antique gold gilding wax, and as I was putting it on, I just did not love the way that it was looking over the Woodland Harbor, over the dark base. So I got it on, I sat with it a bit, and then I ended up changing it. So I just wanted to show, like, this happens sometimes and it's fine. It was an easy fix, but sometimes you just don't like the end result. So since I knew I wasn't going to like that color on the tray because they are the same colors, I went in with white gold, and I loved this so much more. So white gold to me kind of reminds me of like a very soft, like gold and silver mix. Not quite pewter because it's not gray enough. You can still see a bit of the gold. It's a little bit yellow, but it's lovely, and it went on this much better. So this is the route I took on the tray, and then knew that I would then be able to transfer it over to the candlestick holder. Okay, so for the quilted wall panel, all I did for this one is I have it's like a teeny tiny stencil brush that I use for my gilding wax. And I'm using this instead of my fingers. It gives it a smoother finish, but also like a dirtier finish, because you're not getting any clean lines or anything. You're getting this really stiff brush that's working it into places and getting it like in lower points and hitting all the top lines. And I've got like a little bit of black wax left on this brush from an older project, so it just kind of grunges it up a bit, which I thought was perfect for the quilted one. And then I didn't do throughout the middle. I did it really heavy around the edges and then kind of faded it lighter towards the center. And of course, everything gets sealed with clear wax. That's, like I said, it's what I like to use because then I don't have to wait for it to dry. It's not reactivating anything. It just works out well for the smalls because they typically ship out so much faster than, say, a dresser. So there we have it. There's our finished pieces for this week.